In the last, we discussed UFT test process. In complete, we completed first phase. First phase, planning. In that planning, 5 important tasks. First one, get environment details from development team and select appropriate add-ins. Next, second one, analyze the AUT in terms of object identification. Next, select areas or test cases for automation. Next, tool settings configuration and globalize. Last one, optional but important, automation framework implementation. Next, second phase. In software test process, manual test process, design only one phase. Here design, test design divided into two phases, but both are combined. What is second phase? Generate basic tests. Generate basic tests. Next, third one, enhance tests. Enhance tests. What is the difference between these two phases? Generate tests means generating plain navigation, normal steps. Enhancing tests means adding comments, inserting verification points, error handling, parameterizing if required, synchronization if required, etc. See, generating basic tests means creating plain navigation, generating normal steps or normal statements. Enhancing tests means inserting verification points, adding comments, next inserting transaction points, synchronization points if required as per requirements. Okay. First, generating basic tests. Can you tell me, Shilpa, how to generate tests in UFT? How we generate tests or test scripts? Record is one of the method. We can generate, we can type steps. Okay, okay. Put mute. Surendra, have any idea how to generate tests in UFT? Surendra.
Another is from scripting.
Scripting. One is recording, another is scripting. Okay. Shivaram? Okay, okay. Okay. See, in high level orientation, we have two methods for generating tests. What are the two methods? First one, object repository based test design. Object repository. Object repository based test design. Next, non-repository, without repository, that is descriptive programming. Descriptive programming. Another name of descriptive programming, programmatic descriptions. Programmatic descriptions. Okay. See, first take object repository based test design. See, in object repository based test design, again we have two methods. First one, recording. You record the navigation, then UFT tool generates corresponding statements automatically. Next, without recording, the term is keyword driven methodology. keyword driven methodology. Keyword driven methodology means, don't confuse, keyword driven framework is different, keyword driven methodology is different. Okay. What is keyword driven methodology? Generating tests manually means without recording. Generating tests manually using keywords. Otherwise, you can say using shared object repositories. Generating tests manually using shared object repositories. Recording uses local repositories. Keyword driven methodology uses shared object repositories. Recording without recording. Next, again descriptive programming, two types without repository. One is static programming. What is static programming? What is dynamic programming? That we will discuss in generating tests chapter. Now just roadmap for our program, indexing the concepts. Static, static programming. Next, dynamic programming. Dynamic programming. Static programming, dynamic programming. And one more thing, UFT supports hybrid approach for generating tests. Means some tests, suppose in your project 100 tests are there, use object repository based test design for some tests, for remaining tests use descriptive programming. No issues. See, hybrid approach. UFT supports hybrid approach. See here, hybrid approach also two levels. One is high level hybrid approach, another is low level hybrid approach. What is hybrid? What is high level hybrid approach? It is test level. Test level. It is next low level. Step level or statement level. Statement or step level. Say, suppose in our project 100 tests, use object repository based test design for 50 tests. For remaining 50 tests, use descriptive programming. That is high level hybrid approach, test level. Next, low level. Suppose in one test also you can use both object repository based test design and descriptive programming. Suppose in one test 40 statements available, use object repository based test design for generating some statements, use descriptive programming for generating remaining statements. No issues. See, one is test level, another is, suppose some tests using object repository, means entire tests, remaining tests using descriptive programming. That is high level hybrid approach. Low level, you take tests one by one. Suppose in one test, some statements using object repository, remaining statements using descriptive programming. Statement levels or step level, that is low level. Got the point, Surendra? Understand this concept, hybrid approach, high level and low level? What is the difference between high level hybrid approach and low level hybrid approach?
High level is basically at test level. If a script have multiple tests.
It's not script have. Project.
Yeah, sorry. Project have multiple tests. Some tests can use object of the repository. Sorry, objects in the repositories, and some other can use that descriptive programming.
Next.
The low level is that one test if you have multiple statements. Some can use the object repositories and some can use the descriptive programming.
Okay. And one more thing, very low level also there. Suppose one statement is there. Statement. Suppose one statement is there. So generally test object statement syntax I will introduce later, just understanding point of view. Suppose parent test object of object name dot child. Don't concentrate on this syntax. Child test object of object name dot method or operation. Method, or you can say operation. Technical term method, business term operation. See, suppose statement is like this. For parent test object, you used OR, object repository based test design. For child test object, suppose in one statement also you can mix some part of the statement object repository, remaining part of the statement descriptive programming. See, first portion of the code, sorry, first part of the statement, first test level, statement level, next very low level, part of the statement. Some part of the statement OR, remaining part of the statement DP. Yes, you can use. This is correct syntax. Next, incorrect syntax. Suppose if we use descriptive programming for first part of the or first portion of the statement, you have to use DP only for remaining part. If we use OR for second part, it won't accept. That is invalid syntax. Got this point, Anita? Anita?
Understood, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Got it, sir.
Okay. Say, generating basic tests. We have two methods for generating tests in UFT. One is object repository based test design, another is descriptive programming. Again, in object repository based test design, we have two sub methods. One is recording, another is without recording. The term is keyword driven methodology, generating tests manually using shared object repositories. Next, again in descriptive programming, two sub methods. One is static programming, another is dynamic programming. And one more thing, UFT supports hybrid approach for generating tests. You can use object repository for some tests and descriptive programming for remaining tests in your project. That is high level. And one more thing, in one test also you can use both object repository and descriptive programming. Some statements or steps using object repository, remaining statements or steps using descriptive programming. And one more thing, in a statement also you can use both OR and DP. Some part of the statement OR, remaining part of the statement DP. But one limitation is there. What is that limitation, Arjun? Arjun, what is the limitation? Shivram.
Statement level is object repository followed by descriptive programming, it is acceptable.
Ah,
And in state hybrid very low level statement one, if we use the descriptive programming first followed by UR is
hmm.
not acceptable.
Yes, invalid syntax. Okay. Okay, na Shilpa, shall we move to next topic? Okay. Brenda, what about you? Following? Okay, cool. Say, next, just a minute. Okay. Enhancing tests. Enhancing tests. Say, for generating tests, all are UFT tool features only. UFT tool only recognizes test objects. What is test object? I will explain in objects chapter. UFT tool only recognizes objects. VBScript doesn't recognize. Say somebody feeling descriptive programming belongs to VBScript. Recorded script also VBScript. Syntax might be in VBScript format, but UFT tool only recognizes objects. Remember this one. UFT tool only recognizes objects. VBScript doesn't recognize objects. For enhancing tests, you can use VBScript. Say for enhancing tests, UFT tool features available and VBScript features available. You can use UFT tool features or VBScript features or both. And one more thing, say one suggestion, anyhow, generating basic tests is simple task, easy task, but enhancing tests is difficult task, time taking task. Okay, generating tests routine task, enhancing tests some difficult, focus more on enhancing tests. Okay, here one suggestion or recommendation, try to increase the usage of VBScript. Okay, try to increase the usage of VBScript features for enhancing tests. Why? What are the reasons? Can you tell me, Sivaram? Just guess. My suggestion is try to increase the usage of VBScript features, reduce the usage of UFT tool features. Why? Suppose if you want to insert verification points in your tests, two possibilities. One is UFT tool features. One is UFT tool feature checkpoints. Another is VBScript feature conditional statements. My suggestion is try to increase the usage of VBScript features. Why? Response, say yes or no. More globalized. Okay. First. Ah. Hmm. No, that is not the reason. Okay. Put mute, I will explain.
Sir, can I
Ah.
say something, sir? Maybe if we want to change something in the script,
Ah.
we could go ahead and change it
Hmm.
with VBScript.
Hmm.
Maybe if we want to do some additions to it,
Hmm.
it can be changed. That's the reason, sir.
You can edit checkpoints also na. You can see you can edit tool features also editable. You can edit recorded script also editable. Okay. See first reason, uh, tool tool features may corrupt, may not corrupt, but there is a possibility. But script features won't corrupt. See, script features won't corrupt. Tool features may corrupt. Next, second reason, script features are fast in execution. Why? If we use tool features, tool has to create internal registry files to maintain tool features. If we use script features, no burden on UFT tool. See, script features are faster in execution than tool features, are faster in execution. Next, say ready-made environment, ready-made environments have limitations. UFT IDE is ready-made environment, limitations, but scripting logic doesn't have any limitations. I will give one small example. In practical chapters, you can get more clarity. Suppose for measuring test transaction time, UFT tool feature transaction points available, VBScript feature timer function available. If we use tool feature inserting transaction points, one drawback, it passes that value time in seconds to result window only. If you want to export the value to external files, suppose I measured one test transaction time, time is 18 seconds, it passes that value to result window only. I want to export the value to external files. You can't export. Tool features have limitations. Instead of tool feature, if we use VBScript feature timer function, you can pass the value to result window, you can export the value to external files, you can display the value locally, no limitations. See, scripting means programming logic doesn't have any limitations. Scripting logic doesn't have any limitations. Next, one more thing. Some tool features can't be used externally. Not all. Some tool features can't be used externally. But all script features can be used internally as well as externally. Example, I will show, I will explain. Just a minute. All script features, all script features, VB script features. Here, script means use VB script. See, all VB script features can be used internally as well as externally. Internally as well as externally. What is internal use? What is external use? Internal use means accessing features from UFT tool editor. External use means accessing from external library files. Just a minute, I will show one small example. Tell me, Arjun, what is internal and what is external use?
Tools will have both internal and external, but overall we cannot use person global out overall.
Diverting the topic. What is internal use and what is external use? That is my question. Okay. See, internal use means accessing features from UFT tool editor. External use means accessing features from external library files. Say, suppose if you insert checkpoint in external library file, it won't execute. If you insert conditional statement in external library file, it will execute. See, you can use VBScript features internally as well as externally. Just a minute. Don't concentrate on this syntax. Function, function name AXYZ, dim A comma B, MSG box, A plus B. Addition of A comma B is concatenate. Message with variable value. To define the values, A equal to 10, B equal to 20. Call the function. Call function name xyz. Run the script. Say addition of AB is 30. This is internal use. Accessing features from internal use. Here we used one operator, plus operator, and we declared variables and we defined function. Okay, next external use. Make it as external component. Now no code in UFT tool editor. Create library file. Save as VBS file. Suppose abcd.vbs. Next, associate that library. Resources. Browse path of the file. And we are not performing calculation in this editor. We are accessing, I explained. What are the 4 reasons? Tell me one by one. You tell me, Anita Raj. Anita.
Tool features may be corrupt,
Hmm.
but the script features will never corrupt.
Hmm.
That's the first point.
Hmm.
Second one is script features are very, very fast in execution.
Hmm.
And then the ready-made environment will have limitations.
Hmm.
Script logic will not have any limitations.
Hmm.
That is, value can be passed on to external files.
Okay. That is example only. Next, 4th one.
So some tool features cannot be used externally.
Hmm.
Script features can be used both internally and externally.
Okay. Put mute. Surendra, are you following?
Sir,
Ah.
one question, sir.
Ah.
Now, when you did it on a notepad, right?
Hmm.
That is just outside.
Hmm.
You mean to say that that's done outside, but still it could be saved in the UFT?
No, not saved in UFT. Associated.
Okay, both can be linked together.
Linked, just linked.
If it is done in the notepad, it still can be associated with it.
Not notepad. Notepad is just editor. We saved as VBS file, .vbs. Notepad extension txt. We saved as VBS.
Okay, so we saved it as a VBScript and then we can link it to UFT.
Yes, don't use the term link. Associate.
Okay, associate to UFT.
Yes, then you can access. Okay, anyhow, that we will discuss in functions chapter. See, association also 2 levels. One is test level, another is tool level. That we will discuss later. See. Okay, now Arjun, are you following? Okay. Say we have 12 to 13 methods for enhancing tests in UFT. Some methods belongs to UFT tool, some methods belongs to VBScript. We will discuss both, but you try to use VBScript features in your project. But sometimes, due to time constraints, you may use tool features also. But we will discuss both. See here, no sequence, all are independent methods. No sequence, no dependencies, order not required. For example, checkpoints purpose is different, output values purpose is different. Next, parameterization is different, synchronization is different. Say, enhancing methods, inserting checkpoints, inserting checkpoints. Say, we have 9 plus 3 checkpoints available in UFT. In QTP last version, QTP 11, only 11 checkpoints. In UFT, one checkpoint added, that is file content checkpoint. Anyhow, that we will discuss in checkpoints chapter. In that chapter, I will show practical examples also. Now, just indexing. Say, why I am writing 9 plus 3 instead of 12? 9 checkpoints are direct checkpoints, 3 checkpoints are hidden checkpoints. Direct option not available. How to insert hidden checkpoints, that we will discuss in inserting checkpoints chapter. Remember, we have 12 checkpoints, 9 checkpoints direct, 3 checkpoints hidden. Okay, what are the 12 checkpoints and how to insert, that we will discuss later. First, just definition level. What is checkpoint? See, generic definition. Can you tell me, Jai Shetty, what is checkpoint?
It is actually a point that a user is
Hmm. Generally, we don't use validation term, verification point. It is a verification point.
that is given by the user.
Okay, less clarity. Sultana, Sultana Parvin, can you tell me what is checkpoint?
Checkpoint is a verification point.
Hmm.
Fixed like expected result
Hmm.
of the user.
Hmm.
Paired with the actual result during execution.
Okay. Okay.
Provide test result.
Good. Put mute. See, checkpoint. It is a verification point. Takes expected result from the user. User means tester, and compares with actual results during execution and provides test result. Three results, so don't confuse. Expected result from user, actual results during execution. After comparing expected with actual, tool provides test result. Pass or fail like test result. See, next, inserting output values.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Sorry
Ah,
to stop you.
okay.
Please repeat the checkpoint verification one more time, sir.
Checkpoint verification. Definition of checkpoint. Okay.
The explanation, just one more time.
Okay, okay, cool. It is a verification point, takes expected result from the user means tester, and compares with actual result during test execution and provides test result. Any complexity? Hello?
Yes, sir, I understood, sir. It just takes the result and compares it. Yeah.
Yes. Takes expected result only from user. Actual results during execution. Actual results during execution and provides test result, pass or fail. Suppose you entered 3 comma 5. Suppose calculator application you entered 3 comma 5. What is our expected result? Expected 8. If actual also 8, then it will provide a test result to pass. Otherwise fail. Inserting output values. We have 7 output values. One of the unnecessary concept in this UFT tool, limited use or no use in real time. Another name of output values, output checkpoint. What is the purpose of inserting output values? Have any idea, Anita? Purpose of inserting output values? Okay, cool. See, inserting output values. It captures output during execution. It captures output during execution and stores into runtime data table. Runtime data table available in UFT result window. It captures output during test execution and stores in runtime data table. So many limitations are there. It is unnecessary concept, but concept is there that we will discuss. Interview point of view and certification exam point of view required, but in real time limited use or no use. What? Tell me, Arjun, what is inserting output value? What is the purpose of output values?
It's going to capture output during the execution
Ah.
and it will store into the real time.
Runtime data table. Runtime data table. We have two data tables. One is in UFT tool main window, another is in result window. Jay Shetty, tell me, what is the name of main window data table? Sivaram? What I am asking, what you are telling. I am not asking types of sheets in data table. What is the name of data table in main window? We have two locations now. One is in UFT tool main window, another is result window. In result window, name of data table is runtime data table. Please, Anita.
Is it active screen?
Active screen. Good. Design time data table. Design time data table. See, observe. See, in the last class, I think, second class, I explained that one. Where forget, observe. Observe, Anita, data table located in two areas. Can you view this one, this line? Shivaram, can you view this line? So tool feature. Next, for parameterization, we have both UFT tool feature, example data table, and script feature loop statements. What is parameterization? Important one. Parameterization is global concept. You can find parameterization feature in all programming languages and scripting languages. What is parameterization? Kamal, what is parameterization?
Parameterization will provide some input values using some parameters,
Okay.
something like this.
Okay, but less clarity. Silpa, can you tell me what is parameterization? Okay. Jai Shetty. Jai Shetty, you are not responding.
Sir, no,
You don't know. Cool. See, parameterization means replacing constant values with parameters. Simple definition. Replacing constant values with parameters. Constant value means fixed value. Suppose we created a login test. In that we used age, username, password. If we use username ABCD, password as XYZ, every time it takes ABCD as username, XYZ as password. If we execute the test 10 times, every time it takes same input. Those are constant values. Fixed values. Uh, Instead of fixed values, you can pass parameters. See, replacing constant values with parameters is called parameterization. Anyhow, the chapter takes nearly 2.5 hours. In that chapter, you can get more clarity. Now, just know what is what. Parameterization, replacing constant values with parameters is called parameterization. What is the advantage of parameterization? What is the advantage of parameterizing tests? First advantage, to pass single dynamic value. Another is to pass multiple values, means data driven testing. Say, suppose one function is there, login function. I want to pass single values only, but every time different values. Suppose I am calling that login function from 10 tests. For first test user ID 1, password 1. For second test user ID 2, password 2. Like that. Yes. If you parameterize, means instead of constant values, if you pass variables as parameters, you can pass dynamic values every time. To pass single dynamic value or to pass multiple values, these two are advantages of parameterization. What is the purpose of passing multiple values? Data driven testing. What is the purpose of data driven testing? Positive and negative testing. See, and don't confuse parameterization, data driven testing, both are not same. Parameterization is global feature, data driven testing is local feature. Parameterization is superior. What is the relation between parameterization and data driven testing? We use parameterization feature in data driven testing. What is the difference between parameterization and data driven testing? Data driven testing means passing multiple values only. Parameterization means not only passing multiple values, also passing single value. Okay, now Arjun, what is parameterization and what is the relation between parameterization and data driven testing? That is what is parameterization? That is you are telling advantage or purpose. Okay. Next, relation between parameterization and data driven testing. Relation between parameterization and data driven testing. We use parameterization feature in data driven testing. Next, Anita, difference between parameterization and data driven testing.
For data-driven testing, we keep a positive and negative test in local feature,
Hmm.
and parameterization is a global concept.
Hmm. Unnecessary explanation. What is the difference between parameterization and data driven testing? You are telling advantage or purpose of data driven testing, positive and negative testing. I'm not asking.
Difference
Yes.
Okay. While doing the parameterization, we use the data-driven testing.
While doing data-driven testing, we use parameterization. You are telling reverse pattern. Okay, okay, okay. Shivaram, can you tell me what is the difference between parameterization and data-driven testing? Both are not same, but relation is there.
Parameterization you can pass multiple values as a single dynamic value.
Ah,
Data-driven testing you can pass multiple dynamic values.
yes, that is the difference. Parameterization means we can pass multiple values or single values, single dynamic value. Data-driven testing means passing multiple values only, passing single value meaningless. Isn't it, Anita?
Yes, sir. Now I understood.
Okay, okay. See, once again, parameterization. Replacing constant values. Constant values means fixed values. Replacing constant values with parameters. Next, parameterization is global feature. What is the purpose of parameterization? To pass single dynamic value or to pass multiple values. Next, what is data-driven testing? Testing the same functionality with testing the same functionality using multiple sets of test data. What is the relation between parameterization and data-driven testing? We use parameterization feature in data-driven testing. What is the difference? Data-driven testing means passing multiple values only. Passing single value meaningless. Passing multiple values only. Parameterization means not only passing multiple values, also passing single dynamic value. Okay. Next, one more extension topic. We can use either VBScript variables or VBScript constants. Don't confuse. Earlier we used constant, that is English term constant. Constant means fixed value. This time VBScript constant. We can use either VBScript variables or VBScript constants or arguments or environment variables or action parameters or data table parameters or dictionary items as parameters. See, different containers available for carrying the data, but two important things. One is variable, another is argument. If it is script level, generally we use variable as parameter. If it is function level, we use argument as parameter. Tell me, Surendra, uh, how to parameterize? How to parameterize? We can use either VBScript variables. Continue.
Can use either VBScript variables or VBScript constants.
Ah,
Arguments are environment variables.
ah. Or data table parameters, or action parameters, or dictionary keys as parameters. But important, what are the important parameters? If it is script level, variables. If it is function level, arguments. Okay, don't confuse. Anyhow, we will discuss with examples in parameterization chapter. See here, just remember four important points. Put mute. What is parameterization? You know that. What is parameterization? Next, see somebody is to make nice. Avoid that one. Purpose of parameterization. Next, relation between parameterization and data driven testing. Next, difference between ఓకేనా? ఓకేనా సురేంద్ర? Shall we move to next topic?
Sir,
See, simple one, adding comments. See, comments are English words. We use comments for code documentation. It is global feature. You can find comments in all programming languages and scripting languages. See, general purpose, it is comments for code documentation. Next, tell me, Anita, when it comes to low level, what is the purpose of comments? Why we use comments in our tests or test scripts?
Just for our understanding, sir.
Our
It's like making our own notes.
Okay, that is primary purpose. Primary purpose of comments is to make the code understandable. To make the code understandable or readable. Okay. Next, secondary purpose also there. One more purpose also there. Can you tell me, Brenda? Primary purpose is to make the code readable or understandable. Next, secondary purpose.
Can I go, sir?
Ah,
To make it a non-executable?
yes, to make the code disable from execution. See, suppose in our test 100 statements are there. We don't want to execute all 100 statements in this iteration, only some 70 statements. Okay, you can make that remaining 30 statements as comment block. Whenever you want to execute all statements, you can uncomment it. Okay, na Shivram? Adding comments, primary purpose and secondary purpose. Okay, syntax may vary from one language to another, but purpose same. Anyhow, adding comments is not mandatory, optional. Say in computer programming or scripting, two important things. First one is rules, rule. Second one is standard. See, adding comments, just standard, coding standard. Suppose if we enter one if statement, you must close end if in VBScript. Suppose you entered two if statements, you must close two end if statements. That is rule, syntax rule. Otherwise, script will show error. Suppose adding comments, that is not rule, standard. See, in computer programming, rules, standards. Comments is not rule, standard. Okay, next. Inserting transaction. Inserting transaction points. See, this feature is not belongs to functional test automation. Already we discussed UFT is basically UFT is a functional and regression test tool, but it supports little amount of performance testing, little bit performance testing. This inserting transaction points feature belongs to performance testing. Using this feature, we can measure test transaction time, how much time the test is taking for execution. Suppose login test is there. After entering valid username and password, whether it is providing next page or not, that is a functional test. Login successful or not, that is functional test. How much time that login operation is taking for execution, that is performance test. See, using transaction points, we can measure test transaction time. We can measure entire test transaction time or part of the test transaction time. For example, in my test, three operations are there. Ours is fax order end-to-end scenario. First login, next insert order, next fax order. Suppose I want to measure entire test transaction time. Yes, we can measure. Suppose I want to measure only insert order transaction time. Yes, you can measure part of the test transaction time also. See, start, end transaction. See, this is UFT tool feature. Next, alternate. Instead of transaction points, you can use VBScript feature, timer function. timer. Timer function. Next, generating steps or statements. Generating steps or statements using step generator. What is step generator? Padmaja, can you hear me? Padmaja, you are not responding. Padmaja, hello. Tell me, Kamal, what is step generator?
Sir, it is used to
Hmm.
generate scripts.
It is used to generate scripts. Less clarity. Brenda, what is step generator? I think yesterday only explained that one. What is step generator? Important feature. Pardon? By using step generator? Okay. Anita, step generator.
I'm thinking that it executes the step one by one.
Execution. Don't confuse.
Sorry, generates the step one by one.
Hmm. Generate the steps one by one. That is step generator. Okay. See. Okay. Some more clarity required. See, it is a library of functions and utility objects. It is a library of functions and utility objects used to generate recordable and non-recordable steps. Recordable steps, okay. If navigation is there, you can record that navigation. What are non-recordable steps? Operations on disabled objects. Next, irregular operations. Those can't be recorded. Using step generator, we can generate non-recordable statements also. Anyhow, that we will use in generating test chapter, just to know the concept. Step generator, it is a library of functions and utility objects used to generate recordable and non-recordable steps. Steps or statements. Next, important one, synchronization. Synchronization. For synchronizing tests, we have UFT tool features and VBS feature also available. Here, four important concepts. Anyhow, in practical chapter, you can get more clarity. See, this is only roadmap. Once again, we will discuss theory and practical. What is synchronization? Synchronization also global term. You can find synchronization term in Java, Oracle also. What is synchronization? Next, why? Why synchronization? Next, when? What, why, when? When synchronization is required? Next, how to synchronize. How to synchronize. See, four concepts. This last one, practical concept. First, what is synchronization? Already I told it is global term. You can find synchronization in computer programming and databases, not only in test automation. First, general definition, then UFT point of view definition, local definition. What is synchronization? Mapping the speeds of mapping, not mapping, matching. Mapping is different, matching is different. Matching the speeds of two things. It is a process of matching the speeds of two things. UFT point of view definition, here two things. One is UFT tool, another is application under test. It is a process of matching the speeds of UFT and AUT. It is a process of matching the speeds of UFT and AUT in order to get proper execution and result. Okay, what is synchronization? Okay, it is a process of matching the speeds of UFT and AUT. First of all, why synchronization? During test execution, UFT gives instructions one by one with same speed. No issues with UFT tool. During test execution, UFT gives instructions one by one with same speed. But application takes less time for some statements execution and more time for some statements execution. Here we can't blame the application also. Why? Some statements may take more time. Suppose enter a value into edit box. Application can respond quickly. Click on link. Application can respond quickly. Downloading process, uploading process, they may take more time. Here we can't blame the application also. See, why synchronization? During test execution, UFT gives instructions one by one with same speed, but application takes less time for some statements execution and more time for some statements execution. In order to keep them in sync, synchronization is required. Synchronization is required. When it is required exactly? Say, UFT tool default synchronization time is 20 seconds. If any statement takes more than 20 seconds for execution, there only synchronization is required. Okay. Tell me, Surendra, what is synchronization? First, general, next local definition. What is synchronization?
It's basically matching the speed of two things,
Ah,
the EFT tool and the AUT.
okay, local, that is. First, general. It is matching the speeds of two things. Over. Next, UFT point of view. What is synchronization?
It is matching the speed of UFT tool and the application at test.
It is a process of matching the speeds of UFT and AUT in order to get proper execution and result. Actually, synchronization is part of error handling, but nowadays it is independent topic. But why we synchronize UFT and AUT in order to avoid errors? See, actually, it is a part of error handling. Okay, all of you familiar with what is synchronization? It is a process of matching the speeds of UFT and AUT in order to get proper execution and result. Next, Arjun, why synchronization? Why?
Because
Hmm.
application
Hmm.
may take
Okay.
time to execute
Okay. Shivaram, why synchronization? No, no, no.
Execute the statement with similar time,
Hmm.
same time interval,
Hmm.
same time everything
Okay.
able to respond for data to sync more
Hmm.
is required.
Okay, less clarity. Jay Shetty, why synchronization?
Yeah, after the UFT tool executes the statement within a period of time, which is
UFT tool won't UFT tool won't execute. UFT gives instructions only. Application has to respond. Ah.
within a period of time. So
Hmm.
in that case, application sometimes take more time for some instructions and less time for some other instructions.
Okay.
So to sync this, we will have to use synchronization.
Okay. 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 Maintain some more clarity. See once again, why synchronization? During test execution, when we get this problem during execution, see you mentioned that one. During test execution, UFT gives instructions one by one with same speed, but application takes less time for some statements execution and more time for some statements execution. In order to keep them in sync, synchronization is required. Next, Anita, synchronization is required. When it is required exactly? For each and every statement, synchronization is not required. For some statements only. When it is required exactly?
While test execution is required, sir, UFT will give instruction.
Hmm.
The
When synchronization is required. I mentioned one time path also.
20 seconds is the default time. Within 20 seconds it has to happen.
Hmm. Okay. Say UFT tool default synchronization time is 20 seconds. If any statement takes more than 20 seconds for execution, their synchronization is required. Okay, na Arjun, these three concepts, what is synchronization, why synchronization, and when synchronization is required? Okay. See how to synchronize, that is a practical concept. Just to remember, we have three important methods for synchronizing tests. One is inserting wait statement, next inserting synchronization point, alternates, next increasing tool default time. Inserting, how to synchronize? Either by inserting wait statement or inserting synchronization point or by increasing tool default synchronization time. Tell me, Surendra, how to synchronize UFT and UFT and AUT? How to synchronize UFT tool and AUT?
Either by increasing the sync time
Uh,
tool
uh,
or inserting the
hmm.
sync
Synchronization point. Hmm. One more thing also I mentioned. Shivram,
we can increase the wait time.
wait time that Surendra covered. Uh,
Inserting the information point.
already covered. What is the another one? Inserting wait statement. Wait. WAIT. Wait statement. Okay. Next. Define test result. Define test result. Actually, we no need to define test result if we use UFT tool features. Then, when user need to define test result, say if we use our own logic, scripting logic, then we need to define test result. Observe, UFT provides test result for every test iteration. What is the difference between test and test iteration? Test, test iteration. If we execute any test for 10 times, 10 iterations, 10 results. If we execute any test for one time, one result. 5 times, 5 iterations, 5 results. UFT provides test result for every test iteration. Iteration means cycle of execution. UFT provides test result for every test iteration. If we use UFT tool features like checkpoints, transaction points, output values, etc. If we use our own logic, suppose if A greater than B, then do something else, do something. UFT doesn't know about your own logic. UFT doesn't know about your own logic. You need to define test result. Tell me, Brenda, when user means tester, define test result. Yes. Okay, using report or utility object, we can define test result that we will discuss in uh, practical chapters. Next, calling actions, functions. See, actions belongs to UFT, functions belongs to VBScript. Both are same in purpose. Purpose is reusability. Here, action and functions are reusable. Actions and functions are reusable components. When we choose functions, when we choose functions, see, whenever we want to execute same tasks multiple times, whenever we want to execute same operations multiple times, we choose functions or actions. Say, next, environment variables. Environment variables. What are environment variables? Environment variables are global variables. Environment variables are global variables. Depends on local system operating environment. Environment variables are global variables, depends on local system operating environment. Purpose of environment variables. Primary purpose, centralized maintenance of variables. Another, tests portability. Tests portability. What is test portability? Executing tests from different missions. See, portability having different meanings. Suppose Oracle is portable. SQL Server is not portable. Oracle is portable means Oracle works on Windows operating environment and Unix operating environment. Next, Oracle works with .NET environment and Java environment. That is portable. See, test portability means executing tests from different missions. First, primary purpose, centralized maintenance of variables. What is centralized maintenance? Suppose in our project, price, a variable name price. One variable is there, name price, that we want to use in multiple tests. On first build, price value is 100. On second version of software, price value 200. Third version of software, price value 300. If we declare price as local variable, we need to open each and every test and modify the value. If we use environment variable, means global variable. You no need to open any test, just to open environment variables file, XML file, modify the value, one time modification. See when to choose environment variables, when not to choose, when no need to choose. Whenever you want to use any variable in multiple tests, choose environment variables. Maintenance is easy. Whenever you want to use any variable in single test, no need to choose. Why? Maintenance same. Next, what is test portability? Suppose I created 100 tests in my machine. I used application paths according to my mission. I want to execute these tests from another machine. Application path is different. I need to open each and every test and change the path according to new mission. Suppose if I use environment variable instead of application path, you take application path into environment variable. Whenever you want to execute test from another machine, change that environment variable value according to new mission and you can execute. See once again, what are environment variables? Environment variables are global variables, depends on operating local system operating environment. Purpose of environment variables, Surendra. Purpose of environment variables. Tell me, primary purpose.
Sir, it can be these variables can be used on multiple scripts.
Can be used. Okay. What is advantage?
Mainly it's portable.
Maintenance easy. Suppose I created 100 tests in my project. I used price variable in 40 tests. On first build, price value 100. On second build, price value 200. Then how to change? I used price variable in 40 tests. I need to open those 40 tests and change the value. Instead of that, if we use environment variable, you no need to open any test. Just open environment variables file and change the value. See, maintenance is easy. See, two advantages of using environment variables. Continue, Suredra. Two advantages. One is centralized maintenance of variables. Another is test portability. Anita, tell me when to choose environment variables, when not to choose, when no need to choose. When to choose, when no need to choose environment variables.
Sir, if it is a multiple test, we can choose it.
Just a minute.
When we are
If
single,
if it is multiple test, what is multiple test?
we want to execute like several different tests, then we can use the environment variable.
Any clarity is there? If you want to execute, 1 minute. If you want to execute multiple test, environment variables required.
You want to execute on multiple machines?
Mm, that is different. Ah.
If we need to apply the variable in several places,
Mm.
then we use environment variable, or if we need to use it only in one single place, then we don't use environment
Okay.
variable.
Okay. This time better, but still clarity missing. See once again. Execution. Here in first one, no execution concept. Whenever you want to whenever you want to use any variable in multiple tests, choose environment variable. Why? Maintenance is easy. Next, whenever you want to use any variable in single test, choose local variable. Why? Maintenance same. Next, another one, test portability. What is test portability? Executing tests from different machines. How can you achieve test portability using environment variables? Say by taking application paths into environment variables. Suppose in my machine application path is different, in another machine another path. If I take application path into environment variable, just open environment variables file, change the path according to new mission, one time modification. If we use direct path in 30 to 40 tests, you need to open those 30 to 40 tests and modify the path. Okay, na Shivaram, any confusion? Purpose, okay. First one is centralized maintenance of variables, next test portability. Next, just to know the concept. Anyhow, that we will, once again theory I will explain in environment variables chapter. Types of environment variables. We have two types. One is global variables, one is built-in variables. You no need to declare, you can use directly. You can use them directly. One is built-in variables, another is user-defined variables. Built-in variables limited, but user-defined unlimited. You can create n number of variables, you can define n number of variables. And one more thing, environment variables file extension is environment variables file extension is XML, extensible markup language. Next, regular expressions. Regular expressions. Can you tell me, Silpa? This is also global feature, regular expression, global feature. You can find regular expressions in all programming languages and scripting languages. Tell me what is regular expression? So, search is purpose. Ah, okay. Jay Shetty, can you tell me what is regular expression? Okay, okay. Shivaram,
We use algorithm like plus minus equal greater than less than symbol and logic.
logic, symbols, plus, minus, greater than. Hmm. Okay. Say, it is a formula. It is a formula for matching patterns. It is a formula for matching patterns. Say, in computer environment, mapping is different, matching is different. Mapping, four types: one to one mapping, one to many mapping, many to one, many to many. Matching, two types: constant matching, next pattern matching. What is constant matching? Matching with fixed value. Suppose I have a document in my computer called india.doc. If I know the exact value, I can retrieve the document using exact value. That is constant matching, matching with the exact value. Suppose I have a document called india.doc in my computer. I forgot the document name, but I know first letter I. Then you can use I star dot like formula. That is pattern matching. See, constant matching, next pattern matching. Constant matching, pattern matching. Constant matching means matching with exact value. Suppose india.doc, India, it will retrieve india.doc. That is matching with exact value. Next, pattern matching. I know just I can use formula I star dot like. Then it will retrieve IA series if available in your computer. IB series, like that you can locate your document or anything. India dot doc. This is pattern matching. Okay, anyhow, it is general. What is the purpose of or what is the usage of regular expressions in UFT? See, usage of regular expressions. Usage of regular expressions in UFT. Two important advantages. One is to handle to handle dynamic objects. Next, for search operations. One is to handle dynamic objects, to handle dynamic objects. Another is for search operation. What is dynamic object? Whose property values change dynamically throughout the execution. Constant object. Suppose this OK button is there. It is constant object. Means this property label, this object property is fixed. Object property is fixed. Property values fixed. Every time it is OK button. I will show one dynamic object. Dynamic object whose property values change dynamically throughout the execution. Constant object whose property values are fixed. See, fax order dialog box. See, this is dialog box. Observe, Anita, what is the label of this dialog box? What is the name of this dialog box? Fax order number 1. Just a minute. Now observe, what is the label of this dialog box? Same dialog box.
Fax order
Number 5. This is dynamic, na?
Yes, sir.
See, keep changing. That's why we have to use regular expression. Okay. See, this is a brief introduction about regular expression. Next, tell me, Arjun, what is regular expression and what is the usage of regular expressions in UFT? Come on, Arjun.
Is a formula for matching a pattern,
Hmm.
but we have like constant matching and the pattern.
Okay. Forget about that. Just the definition enough. It is a formula for matching patterns enough. Next, usage of regular expressions in UFT.
Handle dynamic object
Hmm.
for search operation.
Good. Say, apart from formulas, regular expression object also there. But as per Microsoft documentation, that regular expression object is unmatured object. Put mute. No specific class value for creating regular expression object. Anyhow, that I will explain in regular expression objects chapter. See, next. Anything else, Anita? Automation objects also there. Anything else? Checkpoints, output values, parameterization. Important one. Inserting flow control statements. Inserting flow control statements. A pure VBS. See, flow control, two types. One is conditional statements. Another is loop statements. Uh, Tell me, Surendra, we have two types of conditional statements in Visual Basic Scripting Edition, VBScript. What are the two types of conditional statements in VBScript?
If statement.
If statement. Next,
If and ending.
if and if all are flavors of if statement, if, else if, nested if, all are flavors of if only. Another one, already I introduced, I think. Okay. Select case. If statement, select case statement. See, in C language, switch case. Here, select case. Next, loop statements. Loop statements. Jay Shetty, we have four loop structures in VBScript. Four loop structures in VBScript. What are the four loop structures? For loop. One is for starting keyword for, end keyword next. Okay. While when the loop, next do loop. Here we have to use either while keyword or until, anyone, either while or until. Next, last one, for each, for each, for each next loop. See, our test automation point of view, first three loops useful, last loop rare use or no use. For first three loops, purpose almost all same, style different, insertion different, purpose almost all same. Based on your convenience, you can use them. For first three loops, we use scalar variables. For last loop, for each next, we use array variable. Okay. Say, conditional statements. What is the purpose of conditional statements in UFT test automation? Can you tell me, Sultana, what is the purpose of conditional statements in UFT test automation? Anita,
I'm not sure, sir.
Brenda, purpose of conditional statements in UFT? Synchronization. We don't use conditional statements for synchronization. Okay, put mode, I will explain. Purpose of conditional statements, a brief introduction in UFT. See, first one is, both are important. First one, to insert verification points. I'll explain. Of conditional statements, a brief introduction in UFT. See, first one is, both are important. First one, to insert verification points, next for error handling. Next, we have three types of conditions. See, types of conditions. First one, single condition. See, this is just a brief introduction. Anyhow, in flow control statements chapter, I will provide examples, syntax and examples. Anyhow, this chapter takes nearly 2.5 to 3 hours. Single condition. Example, if A greater than B, then do something. This is single condition. Next, multi-condition or compound condition. Multi-condition or compound condition. If A greater than B and is operator. A greater than also operator. A greater than C, then do something. Next, nested condition. Nested. If A greater than B, then if A greater than C, then if A greater than D, then like this you can write multiple. Next, in another angle, conditions two types. Positive condition.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Sorry to stop you
Ah,
in between. What is the difference between compound and nested? To me, both look the same.
See, this is combined, na? This one after another. See, it evaluates all at a time. But in second one after another. One after another. And one more thing, in compound condition, not only and, you can use or operator also. Either this or that one. But here no or concept. All should be executed, isn't it?
All right, sir. Got it.
Here, compound condition all at a time. Either and operator or operator. Here one by one. First, if A greater than B, then only it checks other. Second one. Second also true. Then third. Suppose if first false, it comes out. Positive condition. If A greater than B, then this is positive condition. Next, negative condition. Negative condition. If not is operator, logical operator. If not A greater than B, if not A greater than B, then do something. Put mute. Whenever you want to ask any question, unmute it and again put mute. Tell me, Arjun, types of conditions. I covered types of conditions in two angles. Tell me, Arjun. Shivram. Nested condition. Another angle. Positive condition, negative condition. Okay. Next, Silpa. Purpose of conditional statements in UFT test automation. Error handling. See, next, purpose of loop statements, repetitive execution. In parameterization, we use loop statements. Next, important one, using automation objects. Automation objects. Concentrate. Automation objects are user defined objects. Automation objects are User defined objects used to work with files, folders, drives, and databases. Automation objects are user defined objects used to work with drives, folders, files, and databases. Say, end user point of view, this segregation, drive, example C drive, D drive, folder, folder names local, but drive names standard, drives, folders, files, databases. End user point of view, this segregation, but computer understand things in terms of files only. Computer point of view, everything is file. Drive is file, folder is file, file is file, database also file. Some are saying database files. Yes, correct term. Computer point of view, everything is file. End user point of view, segregation. See once again, what are automation objects? Automation objects are user defined objects used to work with drives, folders, files, and databases. Say VBScript. VBScript has several object models. VBScript has several object models, but our test automation point of view, 4 or 5 object models are important that we will discuss. Anyhow, this automation objects chapter takes nearly 5 to 6 hours. Now I will provide just introduction, a brief introduction. Anyhow, that chapter takes nearly 5 to 6 hours. See, first one, file system. File system operations. File system operations. First one, file system operations. Subtopics. What is computer file system? What is computer file system? Next, examples for file system operations. Next, how end user performs file system operations. Next, how to perform automatic without manual interaction, automatic file system operations using VBScript. Okay, these are the important topics. First, what is computer file system? It is a feature of operating system used to work with drives, folders, and files. It is a feature of operating system used to work with drives, folders, and files. Here files means flat files only. Flat file means notepad like flat file, file which doesn't have any format. During operating system installation, Windows installation, you can find file system. Disk formatting time, it asks format C drive using FAT, FAT. Next, another option, format C drive using NTFS, another file system of Microsoft. FAT, file allocation table, NTFS, new technology file system. Did you observe this one, Surendra? You never installed Windows? Shivaram? Did you observe? Huh? What about you, Anita? Jay Shetty, I think everybody should familiar with this one.
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, during OS installation, it asks na format C using FAT or format C using NTFS. Those are file systems of Microsoft Windows. Okay, na? Okay. See, what is computer file system? It is a feature of operating system used to work with drives, folders, and files. Simple. Next, examples for file system operations. See, creating a folder is file system operation. Create a folder, copy a folder, delete a folder, create a text file, write data, read data, compare data, search for data, delete a text file, etc. All these are examples for file system operations. Next, how end user performs file system operations. End user performs file system operations manually with the help of input devices like mouse and keyboard. If it is command line operating system, with the help of some commands. See, end user performs file system operations manually with the help of input devices. Suppose I want to create a folder on desktop. Place mouse pointer on desktop and right click, new folder, enter name using keyboard A, B, C, D. See, I created a folder use with the name of A, B, C, D. Suppose I want to delete this folder. Select the folder and right click, delete, confirm deletion. Next, how to perform automatic file system operations using VBScript. See, to do this, VBScript has provided an automation object called file system object. Final conclusion, using file system object, we can perform automatic file system operations. See, just a minute. Suppose I want to create a folder on desktop. You don't concentrate on this syntax. Set objfso equal to create object of class name scripting dot file system object. Now objfso is object dot folder provide path. Suppose I want to store on desktop. See, folder name UFT. Silpa, observe on desktop. Observe, run the script. What happened? Your voice is very low. Some disturbance and voice also low. Try to make it clear at least by tomorrow, by next Monday. See, observe Jay Shetty. Delete is another method. Observe on desktop. What happened? What happened, Shivaram?
Deleted the folder.
Yes, deleted the folder. See, I used VBScript for deleting that folder, not manual operation. Now tell me, Surendra, what is computer file system?
It is an operating system feature to work on the files and folders on the computer.
Drive. See, sequence important. Drives, folders, files. See, it is a feature of operating system used to work with drives, folders, and files. Next, give some examples for file system operations. Brenda, give some examples for file system operations. Uh, uh, uh. create a test file, write data, read data, compare data, search for data, delete a text file, etc. Next, Sultana, how end user performs file system operations. What is my question? What is my question, Sultana? How end user performs file system operations? Here no syntax, only theory. Mm. Concentrate, Sultana. Kamal, Kamal, tell me how end user performs file system operations.
Sir, if it's GUI, then user perform end user operation using input devices like mouse, keyboard.
Okay.
And if it is command user interface, then
Using commands, using some commands. Say, end user performs file system operations manually using input devices like mouse and keyboard. If it is command line operating system like DOS or Unix, using some commands. Next, Shivram, how to perform automatic file system operations using VBScript. How to perform automatic file system operations using VBScript. Yes, yes. Using file system object, user can perform automatic file system operations. Using file system object, automation objects. See set, this set is VBScript statement. Set variable, this is syntax. Set variable equal to create object. It is built-in function of VBScript. Anyhow, that we will discuss in file system objects chapter. Set variable equal to create object of class value. This class value varies from one object model to another. Common syntax. Next, set variable equal to create object of class value. What is the class value for creating file system object? Anita, have any idea? Class value for creating, all of you put mute, file system object. See, you remember this one? Scripting. Scripting dot file system object. Say class value is not case sensitive. First of all, VBScript is not a case sensitive language. What is the class value for creating file system object, Sultana? What is the class value? Not that is script one value. What is syntax? Syntax, it is not syntax. Value. What is the class value for creating file system object? Tell me. Tell me, Anita. First, listen my question carefully. What you are telling? Your answer is suitable for how to create automation object. But my question is, what is the class value for creating file system object? Tell me, Arjun, what is the class value for creating file system object? Jay Shetty.
Yeah, it would be scripting dot file system object.
Good. Scripting dot file system object. That is the class value for creating file system object. Next, tell me, Anita, what is the syntax for creating automation objects? Any object? Common syntax.
Set variable equal to create object.
Create object of. Of means open bracket. Set variable equal to create object of
Class value.
class value. Find the difference between these two.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. See, one is create automation object. That is common syntax. But file system object class scripting dot file system object. Next, just a minute. AB. Excel application operations. Say using file system object also we can create all types of files, Excel files, Word documents, PDF files, etc. But we cannot perform internal operations. File system file system object only applicable for flat files. Already I told, only for flat files, notepad like. But still we can create Excel, Word, PPT, PDF, etc. files using file system object. Why? Those are external operations. We no need to open the file. Suppose if you want to take the row count of Excel sheet, file system object helpless. Only Excel object can get that one. See, Excel object is specialized object for Excel application operations. What is the purpose of Excel application object? Okay, first here we use Excel application object. What is the purpose of Excel application object? It is used to perform Excel application, automatic Excel application operations. It is used to perform automatic without manual interaction. Automatic Excel application operations. Next, what is the class value for creating Excel application object? Class value for creating Excel application object. Simple. Excel dot application. Excel dot application. See, we will meet on Monday, same time. Remaining automation object models, just I will list out. We will discuss on Monday. Another Word application object, Word application operations. Next, database operations, database, single word, database operations. Next, last 1 minute. In database operations, say file system object single, Excel object single, Word object single. But in database area we have 3 object models. But our test automation point of view, 2 object models important. One is database connection, object. I will explain later on Monday. Database connection object. Next, database or record set object. Next, one more object, dictionary object. Dictionary object. Okay, we'll meet on Monday, same time. Thank you.